Welcome back. It's your boy, Matty B. It's another episode, another day, another. I'm just kidding. It's not another day. I've probably recording 2 videos a day, so this is the second video today. I'll probably do 2 more tomorrow. But welcome back to another episode of How to Magic Spells. This is episode 2, and in this video we'll be doing, talk about what each spell type does, and multi-spells and just the start of it. So, I guess we can go start off. So you want to head into your server, go to plugins, magic spells, and then you want to create a new text document. We're gonna name this spells because otherwise magic spells won't know how to recognize won't recognize the spell file. So in that case, we need to put in the keyword spells dash, and then we're gonna put in any name you want. So in this, we'll call it tutorial, and then we're gonna change the file extension from txt to yml, which is the universal config file extension for most plugins. We're gonna go over here. We created it. We're gonna go to edit with notepad++. Alright, cool. So now, what do we do here? What do we do here, you say? We go back to Discord. And then, oh, look at that. Wiki combust. We gotta find our way to the wiki. And luckily, smart little me, I put in wiki combust already. But this is the command to do it. And it's the squiggly line, by the way. The squiggly line. Not the dash. The squiggly line, okay? For the prefix. Go to the wiki. And, we don't really need that. We're gonna go to the spells list straight off the bat, which is on the right, which is useful links. And we can see we have general spells, command spells. So general spells is literally self-explanatory. It's the general spells, like other spells that you need. So over here we can find a passive spell, which is really useful. We have dummy spells, which is very useful as well. And we have other stuff too. We have command spells, which I don't really use. Instant spells. These are spells which don't require a target, meaning you don't need to look at a mob in order to cast it, or you can just cast it just by itself, hence the word instant. Then we have targeted spells, which requires a target to cast spells. So I guess we have buff spells as well, which buff spells are basically like buff status effects, I guess you could say. So like for example, if we go to armor spell, this spell basically just puts summons armor to the caster, and over here we have the duration of it. So how long do you want to put armor on the caster? So in this case it would be duration of 30 seconds. So we're gonna go back to spell lists, and then we're gonna go to instant spells. So what spell should we do for this tutorial? I think the leaf spell is perfect for it. We're gonna go here, and how I like to do spells is I like to copy the example from the wiki first, and then we're gonna paste it into our notepad. So if you don't know how to open it, just right click, edit with notepad++, whatever you guys use, IntelliJ, whatever, if you want to be really fancy with it. So for this, we'll call it tutorial leap. I copied from spell class all the way down because I'm changing the name anyways, so I don't really need that line. But now we have this. I also follow the 4-space rules, meaning I space 4 times for each config section. Config section means like a group of configuration options. Some options require a config section, some just require one word like this. And config sections meaning something like this where it indents more. Now if you want to use tab like that, I have very bad news. You can't do that anymore. You have to manually space 4 times, hence why I copy and paste my spells. And so we're just gonna edit our first spell through, and we can see how that works out. So we have the name here, which is basically overrides this name right here. So we're gonna call this final leap. We have cooldown. Actually, I'm gonna go back to name real quick and tell you exactly what it does. So when you do /cast and then a spell, if you don't have this line over here, if you just do /cast and then this name up here, it will cast the spell. But if you do have a name, you have to do /cast this name right here. It basically bypasses this one and just calls it this one. So if we go down, we have cooldown, which is the amount of time that it takes in order to in order to cast again. So for this situation, we're not gonna have a cooldown. We're gonna have a cast item though, because that's really fancy, and I like fancy. What cast item basically does is it binds the spell to an item. So every left click you do, it will cast a spell. And the parameter here, parameter meaning this, meaning like what you type in order to finish the option. So for example, stick would be the parameter, and this would be like the option. We're gonna put in stick. So if you left click a stick, it should cast this spell. We're not gonna have cost because we don't really need it. STR. So STR is short for string, and what that basically means is that whenever you see an STR dash something, it basically outputs a chat whenever you cast a spell if there's no target based on different actions. So in this case, the cost would be 10 mana 1 feather. So which means that it will output into chat that, you know, it needs 10 mana and 1 feather, which it really doesn't, because we erased the cost line. Now over here we have some options that are specific towards the leap spell. We have forward velocity and upward velocity. Forward velocity is pretty self-explanatory, but it basically means the power in which you're going to leap forward at. It's not in blocks, it's in power. So 40 is not 40 blocks. It's, I don't know what the unit is, but it's power. So in this case, we're going to do 10, and we're going to keep this 15 for the upward velocity, which is the velocity going upwards. Cancel damage. We're gonna put that to true because we don't want to take damage whenever we cast a spell and leap forward. So if we do that and we go ms reload, which basically reloads the any spell files here. We have spells.tutorial, and we save this file and then we reload it, and then we should be able to grab a stick. And if we left click, leaps us forward. Perfect. Perfect. And then we go to game mode survival. Go forward, and we should not take any damage. Perfect. Now if we set this to false, oops. Shoot. I forgot, this isn't my main server. I was trying to open up FileZilla, but you know, it's not my main server, so. Go forward, we should take damage. Just like that, see? Okay, I'm in. Nope, 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 get away from me. Okay. So, we have this to true. Alright, so now you created your first spell. Nice, nice, you know, it wasn't that hard. Now we're gonna go on a little bit into MultiSpells. So, let's say we wanna cast one spell, not two, but we wanna leap twice. Okay? So we want to leap twice, but we only want to cast one spell. The job for it, or what handles the job, is a multi-spell. Hence the name multi. Okay? So, like again, I copy from spell class down. You're free to type it if you want to. I don't really care. And then we're going to call this tutorial multi. We have the name. And since, you know, since we don't really need to cast this anymore, we can remove this name right here and put it over here instead, because this is the spell you're casting. This is only part of this spell. I'm gonna go over here, and we have another config section right here, which basically tells the multi-spell what kind of spells to cast within itself. So in this case, we want to cast tutorial leap first, and then let's say we want to wait like 1 second before we cast it again, which leaps us twice. We need to convert that into ticks. Delays are in ticks. In Minecraft, there's 20 ticks per second. So, that being said, 20 ticks per second, 20 ticks will equal 1 second, which is exactly what we need. What these hashtags are, anything after the hashtag is a comment. So in this case, comments aren't going to be registered by the spell file. It's mainly there for, like notes and stuff like that beside your code. So in case you want to leave something for the next developer or something for yourself to remind yourself in case you forget, put a note down. In this case, we're gonna delete that note because we don't really need it. So we have delay 20. So what this multi-spell is doing is it's gonna cast the first leap, and it's gonna delay 1 second. And if we do that line again, we want to cast this a second time after the second. So what this multi-spell is doing is it's gonna cast the leap spell first, wait a second, and then cast another leap spell. Okay, so now we're not gonna be casting this by hand. Mainly, I'm actually gonna move this cast item here to this multi-spell. So we're not gonna be casting this by hand, like manually. We're gonna be casting this manually. So in that case, this is only a sub spell. This is considered a sub spell because you're not actually casting it. For all sub spells, I like to put the option helper-spell. We'll set that to true. What that basically does is that whenever you reload spells, this takes up less server resources, and it's all around a pretty good thing. So, tutorial leap, we have this. We're gonna go back here, /ms reload, and then if we, we just go left click the stick. Oh, look at that! I don't know if you guys saw that, but first leap, second leap, there you go. So it waits a second, and then you jump again. If you want to wait this, put this on to longer between the two spells, we could easily just change the delay. I'm gonna put this to 60. Make sure to ms reload every time you make a change. Oh, there we go, just like that. See? Yeah. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Guess next episode we'll work on hard chaining, more chains, stuff like that. And yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy. I guess give me some clout, leave some like, I guess, I don't know, share this to all your MagicSpells friends, make sure you tell the staff team about me, you know what I mean, give me some clout. But yeah. Oh, also, if you guys are looking for one-on-one help, I do have a server in which I teach new MagicSpells developers on how to functionally use it, and I give them one-on-one support, as well as how to exactly do the stuff that advanced, even like intermediates and advanced players can do. And yeah, so I basically teach on their side in exchange for for their spells. So their spells that I'm gonna have them do helps the server out. But yeah, so if you need to contact me on Discord, I'll probably have a thread up for recruitment saying the same thing. Applications, yeah, you have to go through an application or to get accepted like any server. But yeah, so if you guys, yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.